And I think this is on. All right, cool. Well, we are continuing our Terminator journey. Got a practice game in with them yesterday against my buddy Craig, working on that battle report. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I like the list, and I think I'm going to stick with it. So anyway, I finished building all the dudes and prime them, and I figured I would just stream and go through my getting them tabletop ready process. So I have an airbrush. I need to learn how to use it. Whatever. This is my least favorite part of painting. I love painting like the details. There's certain parts about this that I'm cool with, but like the base, I hate base coating. I hate all that stuff, but it's how I do it, and I've been doing it for 5 years now. And yep, we're just gonna go. So this is just my process. This is actually my favorite brush to dry brush with. It's just an old medium vehicle brush, and I like them when they turn to shit a little bit. I think it just coats better. So this is generally how I'll start most Space Marines. Actually, yeah, most models I do this almost exact process. So I will prime Chaos Black. I think it just goes on really well. And then I'll do Iron Warriors. So I'll do that first. Then I'm going to wash with nut oil, and then I'll do Fenrang or Runefang Steel, and that's all my metals. And my color scheme is Iron Raven, right? Iron Ravens. But for tabletop ready, all I do is just the 3 base colors, and then I will base them. And then depending on how long or how much time I have, I might actually finish the base in terms of the highlights and stuff, which I really like the recipe I found. So right now I'm using the technical Martian Iron Earth, and then I will use the iron. No, my bad. I just lied. The first thing I'll put on is the Martian Iron Crust, and that will make it look like this. And then all you do is just highlight that with, where is it? Yeah, this color right here. Luganath Orange. It looks freaking sick. When I was painting Chaos Space Marines, I would like use here it is over here. I'd use the Armageddon Dust technical, and then I'd have to wash it, and then I would highlight it. This way I don't have to wash it, and it's just faster. And it looks really good too. So that's generally the order that I'll go. I get all my metals on, and then I'll base, and then I'll do just the 2 colors. So my other Assault Terminator squad, they all have helmets, and I decided to make this squad all helmetless, just so it's easier to identify. Which I like to do little things like that. I'll either paint maybe something a different color that's like easily identifiable, or like change something about the model. So either all dudes are wearing helmets or all dudes are not wearing helmets. But for this one, I will do the blues. So I'll do the Ultramarine blue, and then I dry brush on Magic Blue. And then because they're helmetless, my third color will just be Bugman's Glow, and then boom, freaking done, ready on the table. And this is typically like how I'll do all my guys, just because again, it's like if you're getting ready for a tournament, which I am in 2 weeks for GeekCon, it's outside of Philadelphia at the Philadelphia Convention Center. I think it's weekend of the May 21st, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or whatever. But Trevi will be streaming, so that's pretty cool. And it's the first GT my local store is doing. So anyway, let's get started. So yeah, I'll still use a wet palette, and then I just dry off. Actually put way too much on here. That's fine. Get the paint off, and then seeing how I had some left over here, we're just dry brushing all of this, so it doesn't really matter. I'll usually start with like a big area first, and I like this process too because if you're doing Iron Warriors, I'll do them just like this, or even Black Legion, or I'll do Death Watch like this, and I do my Iron Ravens like this as well. I like just getting all the metallics done, and you don't need to be super precise with this either. So it's okay if there's like some darker spots, some of the black kind of bleeding through, which is fine because you're going to wash it and then we're going to highlight it anyway, and then it just creates that like cool kind of effect. Yeah, so I go start big. And you know what's so funny, like getting into this, when you watch people do this, like when I used to watch a ton of painting videos, I would just be like, dude, how are they doing that? And then you'll eventually just start looking like the painters that you watch on the interwebs, which is pretty cool. Yeah, the only difference, so obviously with Iron Warriors, you don't have to paint any of the metals. Like, you don't have to paint like any of the armor plating because they're all silver and shit. But like with Black Legion, I actually use black contrast, and dude, I think the Black Legion contrast with matte varnish, I think it just looks freaking. It is in my opinion, it is the best looking black. For getting this done pretty quickly. And I definitely think like batch building is the way to go, and batch painting is certainly the way to go as well. You'll see when I do my washes, by the time I finish doing the first one, the last one, the first guy should be dry, and then I can just immediately start dry brushing the silver just to kind of bring out all the edges. I also like batch painting because you're going to have like at least a consistent look across the squad. I'm just a little, probably the former Marine in me, but I like the consistency among squads. Actually, funny story, I started painting Derek's Obliterator squad, man, I think like almost at the beginning of the edition shit, so like 2 years ago, and then he never ran them, and then I moved, I just kind of forgot about him, but I painted one, and then the other day before the 11th edition stream game that we played, he's like, yo, I need Obliterator, so I was trying to crank out the one guy, and it looked way different. So what I realized was like this process that I'm showing you guys right now changed during that time, and it just looks completely different. So I will probably just re-prime black that dude, and then just paint him in the way that I paint now, because they look like two different factions, and he likes Night Lord theme. He's actually painting his Orcs Night Lord theme right now, and his guys look freaking awesome. It's been fun, like seeing him get like into painting. I mean, really anybody. You know, you're definitely proud of yourself when you're getting the shit done. Let me know how the video looks. Let me know how the audio looks. I'm still like tweaking like all this stuff. And I have the washing machine going right now. So let me know if that's annoying or if you can even hear it. That would be the optimal if you can't. Again, like I don't you'll see later on, like I will use like a proper like expensive dry brush when I do the blues, but for this I just use a shitty brush and it's fine. It definitely puts like a thin coat on. So like I said, even when I have to just like, I'm not going to strip that other model. I don't know if you've ever stripped a model. It's a giant pain in the ass. But if you generally paint thin enough, if you're doing like a refresh, you can just reprime them chaos black and it's fine. If you're doing a refresh and it's super thick, I mean, sure, you can strip. I would say, well, how many models do you have to strip? If it's more than like one, dude, I would just sell it at a local, used model store or sell it to a young kid or something and just fucking buy a new one. I don't have the time or patience for that. It's like a 2-day process, and sometimes it's not even. It's just a pain in the ass. I should wash this brush out soon, but I only have 3 left. So the goal is to get them all done before I have to wash my brush. That's a little thick. No, that's fine. I don't typically like priming, what's it called, with lead belcher. I don't know. It's just something about how that primer adheres to the plastic. You definitely still have to base coat it, but it just like comes out weird. I will do vehicles like that, but I typically won't do like, I won't do this process with vehicles. They're just too big. I got the airbrush up and running that I need to open up, probably, but and the nice thing about the wet palette too is like even as like this paint over here is like starting to dwindle down, it's wet enough to keep going, and it just comes out pretty smooth. That's like the big thing with dry brushing. You like, it's the worst thing ever when it has that like your brush is a little too dry. So you need to wet it. I do have one of those little sponge things. So you'll see how I do that later with the blues. But for this base coating, doesn't need to be pretty. It is a bold move though, painting all 10 with heads. I typically hate painting heads, but I figured, you know what? What's the best way to force yourself to love something? Just do it. If you're watching this, feel free to say what's up. I don't hear it. Get that laundry done. Thanks, man. Salt Terminator, yeah, dude. So I've been playing Hammer of Avernus since the detachment came out, and dude, that it took a minute to figure that detachment out. I was running 2x5 Terminators for a little bit, 3x5, and then I ended up with 1x10. And the 1x10 list was good, but the problem was going into hordes and helping Derek prep. He's on orcs right now. I definitely needed one more. Like the 10-man unit just fucking it's so great. It's hard to kill in melee. It kills almost anything. It almost one-shots anything in the game. Last night, was it last night? Yeah, it was last night. In my test game or first practice game that I'm making a battle report for, I was playing Warhound Pact, I think it's called. It's basically the War Dog Chaos Knights detachment. So it was like seven carnivores and I think 3 stalkers, maybe more. But then he also had a greater unclean one, 2x1 Beast of Nurgle, and then 3x3 Nurglings. Really awesome list. And I was playing Craig, team captain for Cuddle Buddies. Really, really good player. But yeah, so he's basically set the conditions for me to have to go into his freaking greater unclean one. And typically if I'm fighting a greater unclean one, I just let it do its thing. I just ignore it. And then even if it goes to an objective, like I'll just pivot and focus on the other objectives. But Craig used it a little bit differently. It wasn't at first, it didn't seem like it was an optimal deployment position for him. But you'll see in the battle report, like it actually worked out really, really well in terms of essentially move blocking my other Terminator squad from getting to the center objective, and 2, my goal was to get that 10-man Terminator squad into 3 war dogs, and that just was not happening. But I was like, well, fuck it. I guess we're going into the greater unclean one. We're here to test and kill stuff. And so it was the oath target, so 4 reels to hit. It was the Canic Bar 10-man squad, so had lethals built in. I spent the 1 CP for sustained, and then I had +1 to wound, rerolling 1s to wound. And dude, I think I did like, it was insane, but it one-shot at the greater unclean one. And we were like, after I was finishing rolling, we both looked up at each other. We were like, holy shit. So definitely between the dev wounds, and then it's what, 10 by so it's 30 attacks, and then Canic Bar. It's all the same in terms of 822, but the Assault Terminators have dev wounds, and that just really helps. I think I put it was definitely over 10 dev wounds through. So yeah, that was a good test. And again, I talked about this in my last stream when I was just like trying to figure out how to do this. In terms of like in your practice games, right? Like determining what success and failure is, and I would say, but certainly like success and failure in a practice game is not winning and losing. Success and failure in a practice game is like, what did you feel about the strategy, like your macro strategy, which I immediately realized I had messed up turn 1, which it was very obvious how I made that mistake, and Craig capitalized on it hard. So I wasn't able what I should have done was sent the 1 Terminator squad with the captain to my early expansion, and then stickied that, and then had my other squad still same position ish, like that wasn't the problem, but the issue was I didn't sticky it, so I couldn't pull them off, and And you know, there's no advance and charge in this detachment. There is no fall back and do fucking anything. So it's on the surface, it's seemingly slow, but with uppy downy terminators, you have to rapid them in, and that's how they gain their movement. There's other ways, but it depends on who the opponent is, where you can bait them into attacking the terminators. So like literally putting them out there and being like, come mess with this unit. Most of the time, they can kill whatever goes into them, even while taking casualties. And that allows you to get extra movement. But yeah, typically, if you don't pull them off the board, you're gonna be in trouble. Night Lord Defiler in front of me right now. Skin sucks. You know, painting that, I would actually be doing a similar version of this, except obviously not silver, but I would be dry brushing the skin first and then do all the metallics afterwards. If you do the other way, like metallics then skin, then you can't necessarily dry brush the skin. You would have to what's it called? You'd have to like wet blend, which can work. Like I did all my possessed like that. But we just own Beast and Nurgle are super irritating. Oh, dude, I love that freaking unit. So I ran Chaos Space Marines and then Shadow Legion for, you know, about 5 years, and I freaking love that guy. Beast and Nurgle is my fucking boy. Also playing Craig, I was again on the surface like doing pretty well early game, but mid game he definitely, like I was saying, like capitalized on my mistakes, and then I started the differential started getting too far, and I was like, shit, now I need to take some like real risks. So we were playing Linchpin, and he uses one Beast of Nurgle to his early expansion, and then one Beast of Nurgle to his sits on his home. I brought in the scouts, and I got the 9-inch charge just to take him off his home to make his primary go down a little bit, and that was essentially what he was doing to me. He did a really, really good job of drip feeding the war dogs to me. And yeah, he just kept taking me off my home. My 10-man squad broke. That was the other thing too. Like, so Armor Contempt really doesn't do anything against, what's it called? The melee war dogs. Total brain fart right now. I have like 6 of them. Anyway. It's the guys who can reroll their charges. So he, that detachment has a 1 CP strat that's at the start of the fight phase. And when you go into Assault Terminators, on their data sheet at the start of the fight phase, you take a battle shock. Well, because both are at the start of the fight phase, the activating player gets to choose the order. So even if they're battle shocked, they can still use the strat, because the strat comes first and then they roll for battle shock. So that was a really annoying little like loophole that he used. Obviously, like super legal, makes sense, do it. But that was annoying. So the assassin, and I know a lot of people don't run assassins nowadays, but like in my local meta, like she's freaking huge. That Vectara is just brutal. Really lets you get away with things that you typically wouldn't if you didn't have her. And then she's just like an action monkey later on. But yeah, early game she's rolling around, deep striking back in and putting that aura out. Yeah, that's pretty good. But yeah, unless you can one-shot a Beast of Nurgle, it's not even worth fucking messing with it. Just throw. Well, I think it's OC3. So just put at least 3 OC1 models on there, and then you just at least deny. Yeah. Although it was pretty funny. We were both rolling like total shit. So, and I know we talk about dice a lot on here, but dude, nobody was killing any. Yeah, carnivores. Yeah, that's what it is. Thank you. Yeah, nobody wanted to fight. Like everyone's rolling ones and twos, or everyone's making their saves, and that was both of us. But yeah, I lined up 2 redemptors and a ballistus into 1 carnivore, or maybe it was a stalker, whatever, same profile, both a moment. So I get the +1 to wound, 4 rerolls to hit, and I rolled, I think, a 1 and a 2 on both overcharged redemptors. Didn't kill it, and we're just laughing about it. And then all of his D6 attack guns, they didn't do. They were both just rolling 1s and 2s. It was funny. And then the first like big kill of the game was really that 10-man assault Terminator squad going into the Beast of Nurgle. I run here with my salamanders a lot. What are you running right now? What's your list? Gigawatts. Salamanders are good, man. They can definitely nuke some shit. With the Dev Wound 10-man flamer squad, they're fucking good. Deceivingly good. The big thing with wash is trying to do these batch jobs. You definitely want to make sure it's not pooling, because it takes longer to paint. Plus, it just has that like gross looking pool mark. It's like pain in the butt to paint over, get rid of. So I'll try to avoid big panel lines, and I just kind of get that into the recesses. That's why I love this brush so much. This brush is one of the main brushes I use. Forge Fathers. What new armories do you think will come out in 11th? I know everyone's talking about Dark Mechanicum, which that would be cool. Derek texted me today. He's like, dude, they just came out with 3 new Space Marine detachments. I'm just like, fucking hell, because now I'm the Space Marine douche on the channel, and dude, it is just so much shit. But yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said, I heard Dark Mechanicum, and then I don't know. I think it'd be cool if Perturabo comes out. I think that'd be great. Adrax with Bodyguard. Yeah, that's good. I like Dara's. What are Dara's? Sorry, dude. It's late. Brain's not working. Dark Mechanicum would be sick. I would buy this for sure. Yeah. I wonder how... Oh, you know what else? Trader Guard. Trader Guard would be cool. But yeah, Derek and Cole Westbrook, they were playing on the table behind me last night on Derek's stream, and well, I guess the channel stream from last night, and Cole's on AdMech right now, and we're just talking about how expensive it is to get into it. But it would be cool if Dark Mechanicum just like has completely different mechanics. It's not just essentially ad mech, but fucking chaosy. I think it'd also be cool if they did the Fallen. If Chaos Space Marines got a Fallen detachment. Land Raider, Impulsor, Stormseer, ATV Scouts, etc. Yeah. The Eldari Exodites would be cool too. I think they're Eldar with dinosaurs. I don't think Eldar needs anything new. I cannot stand that army. And I'm too prideful to be like, well, if you can't beat them, just join them. If I played any Space Elves, it would definitely just be Drakari, just because I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong. There is something interesting about Eldar players, like the person, like psychologically. You know, like how Orc players, it's almost like the same type of dude almost. Well, I feel the same about like Eldari players. They're just very like, I'm doing my Eldar bullshit. Would be cool if they released army of mercenaries with different Xenos types. Dude, I saw a kit bashed Tau army that all had like human heads. I guess in the lore, there's like an entire I don't know how their armies are broken down too, but like an entire army of former humans that joined the Tau for their greater good communism. But yeah, it looked freaking sick. So all the Tau bodies, I think he did change the feet. I'm not sure, but he changed all the heads. All the heads were human heads. It looked freaking awesome. Clicked Dark Elder for a few years, but when 7th edition codex came out, I sold them all. That 5th Eldar codex was so cool. Yeah, I only got into 40k 9th edition. To be honest, it sounds like the other editions just didn't sound as good. But I hear all the war stories of that. I also hear a bunch of stuff just like no data slates, not much terrain, no secondaries. I'm not sure. You tell me, but yeah, the closest I had was 8th edition, just because I started with Chaos Space Marines, and then in the beginning of 9th, dude, actually it was like half at 9th. I was playing with the 8th edition codex, so like 1 wound Marines until the Chaos Space Marines codex came out. But that was, oh, man, that was definitely on the struggle bus for the first couple years of my play experience, which I think that's something I've been thinking about recently as like Derek and I like finished up our book and everything. Like how you're introducing the army is like, or sorry, into the hobby is like so important from a army and gameplay perspective. So it's like I literally started on fucking hard mode, and like, dude, think about it. That's like 2 years of really not playing 9th edition. Yes, I'm playing 9th edition rules or whatever, but like essentially not 9th edition data sheets. And it was just, dude, those were hard days, man. I went to LVO the first time with the 8th edition codex, and dude, it was just fucking hard. So I would definitely recommend, you know, if you got buddies, like, if I meet kids at like jujitsu or something, you know, the high schoolers or whatever, and they're interested in 40k, like I'll take them to the store or whatever, dude. We're either going to play like a mirror match of the same thing, just so it's like really fast and efficient for me to like call out all the data sheets and stuff, or I'll just have them play like Custodes or something, just not like a hard like technical army. Not that playing Custodes is easy, but you know what I'm saying. It's definitely easier than someone just getting into 40k being like, I want to start Drakari or something. Froze. Uh-oh. I am frozen. Is it still frozen? Back in the day, could is the voice still working, or is it just the video? Man, this worked for 2.5 hours the other night, no issues. I wonder if this will just like fix itself. I don't know. I'm not hopeful. Damn, someone is like blowing my phone up right now. Just the hobby cam, your mic works, and your corner cam. Oh man. All right, I'm probably just gonna have to do the turn this whole thing off and turn it back on. Probably that. Why is John working? Oh, looks like the camera turned off. Let's just turn that off, turn that back on. Your things, choose what you want to happen. Let's go menu, USB streaming. Let's try this. Video capture off, on. Man, it's so annoying. Remove, yes. Add. Is it working now? Let's go to the YouTubes. Well, it's working on... It is working on my OBS, but I don't see it on... Oh, I think it's working now. It is working on my OBS. Is it working? Are we good? There we go. All right. It appears to be working on my end. Is it working on your end? Oh, I was getting texts about the the situation. That is funny. All right, cool. Those aren't orcs. I don't know if Derek's done a stream hobby. I tell you what, like setting all this shit up is a process. I definitely appreciate online painters now more than I did before. So he'd have to set all his stuff up in his other room. I guess technically he could do it in the room that we play with, or that we play in, like the one that you guys see. But dude, if you saw my setup right now, I'll take a picture of it later. I'll make it a post tomorrow. It looks fucking ridiculous. I got arms all over the place. I need to build like a dang I was thinking about this today when my kids were over. We were watching Transformers 1, freaking awesome movie. I was thinking of doing like just buying a bunch of PVC pipes and just building essentially like some PVC like a mount like cage around me, and then I can hang everything. Versus I got three light arms, and then I got the mic arm, and then the camera arm, and then I got this other camera actually on one of the freaking one of the lights. So it's a pain in the butt, but we're learning. It's fun. I enjoy learning new shit. It was like a whole process, just like figuring out like your mic settings and then the video settings and dude, all the settings. Well, the first guy should definitely be dry now after that technical error debacle. Yeah, so the goal is tonight have these guys battle ready, because I'm like super freaking slammed with work the next essentially until right before the GT. I work like basically every weekend, so that sucks. Not going to get as many practice games as I want, but I don't know, that game I had with Craig definitely highlighted the strategy, and then I should be good from there. And then like, while I travel, I have like my laptop with me so I can get all my deployments done, but it's definitely going to be a GT prep, kind of visually. Typically I like to play all the missions beforehand, which again, I'm being a little dramatic. I've played so day 1 is layout 8, and we haven't played layout 8 essentially the whole edition. I think we played it like when it first came out, just we were going through all the different layouts, and then basically every GT and RTT we went to was like layout 1, 2, or 6. So layout 8 has been interesting, and then day 2 is layout 1. So I'm not really worried about day 2, but yeah, day 1 will be interesting for sure. We just pre-ordered the release boxes. I mainly just want it for the core rules book. I didn't buy one for the 10th edition, but I will get one for 11th. But I also just want the mission pack cards, honestly. But dude, I'm pretty disappointed with the Vanguard veterans, man. Like, I mean, the memes are accurate. They just look like JPIs with different helmets. I actually kit bashed all of my Vanguard veterans to Primaris bodies. So I bought, what's it called? The Sternguard veterans, and also the Dark Angels, Inner Circle. No, not the Inner Circle companions, the Sword Brethren squad. And I kit bashed all of them for my, my Vanguard veterans. Which I'm really happy with how they came out, but they definitely look veteran-y with all their accoutrements and stuff. All right. So these are definitely drying. Do them last, but these guys should be good. Yeah, they're good. All right, cool. Yep. So yeah, from here, I'll just hit it with the roughing steel. Mainly focusing on just like the edges. You'll see. You should be able to see. I might have to buy a new one of these soon. Dang. That's way too much. Oh, wow. Just dry it off on here. I will test this one just because it came from the after I washed it. I also try to avoid like the parts I'm going to paint blue, which is going to be the shoulder pads. But even the stuff that I know I'm going to paint gold, I don't mind. I think it just looks, the gold just pops way better. When you paint over silver versus going straight from chaos black primer to gold. Try to get the buttons. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, so essentially from here, I mean, if I was painting Iron Warriors, I would just like, because I'll do all the trim first. So I'll do this, then I'll use snake bite leather, watered down a little bit with medium thinner, and then yeah, just put that on, let that dry, and then I'll dry brush that gold with another like kind of like really light gold, and dude, it just looks freaking awesome. And then from there it's just hazard stripes, base, maybe paint the guns. But yeah, my process right now is I just get them to table ready, and then over time I'll do all like the details and the OSL and all that stuff. But the goal is just to get them tournament ready as soon as possible. Oh shit, that was way too much. Yeah, like a fun little secret about dry brushing is you're definitely constantly changing the angle of where you want the brush to hit, just to hit those hard angles that you want. Is it better for you guys if we join you on YouTube or Patreon? So the way it works is if you join Patreon, then all of the members only videos on YouTube go to Patreon first. So you don't need both. I know there was kind of some confusion with that. But yeah, if you join Patreon, then you'll get the members first stuff. The goal probably, Derek thinks end of the year. I think it'll be a little bit sooner, but the goal is to come off Patreon and everything goes through our website. Just because Patreon, being an intermediate company, definitely takes their hit or their cut. So yeah, that's the goal. By the end, no later than by the end of the year, Patreon will be ported over to a website. Oh shit, it's still drying. Damn. Yeah, so the nice thing about Patreon is you know, it is getting early access to, oh man, this is wet too. Early access to the videos, but then also the Patreon Discord. That's where most of us hang out most of the time, to be honest. Our admins kind of monitor the, damn, these are still wet. I'm gonna have to hair dry them. Yeah, our admins monitor the other chats. That's what I was wondering, whose cut is worse or what is better in general. Yeah, I think we were actually talking about that the other day. I forget what percentage it is, but it's enough to be like, all right, we need to cut them out and make our own website. It's gonna be loud. I gotta hair dry these freaking dudes. Where's my, here it is. Dude, this thing is great. It's just a metal ruler. That's what I prime all my dudes on. And then it's easy to hair dry them on here as well. Funny enough, not all rulers are magnetic. I've definitely bought some rulers at Hobby Lobby that were aluminum or some shit, and I get home and I'm like, damn, I go back out. It's gonna get loud, sorry. That's good. And they look dry. Sweet. What do you think of the current Black Templars? Bastion build seems to be fun. I think Black Templars are great. I think too many people give the internet way too much credit, right? A lot of tier videos, and when they talk about factions, it kind of, they do it in two ways. The first way is purely off of like 40k stat check, right? So purely off of who is playing what currently, which that in itself isn't necessarily accurate, right? And here's why. So like Space Marines, because they are so popular, and it has a large player base, a lot of newer players are playing it, which ultimately brings the win rate down. I think Black Templars are probably one of the more popular, like, I mean, dude, like the inner circle, not inner circle, the Sword Brethren dudes just look freaking sick. Like, if I knew nothing about 40k and was just looking at the models, I mean, I'd probably go with them or Dark Angels, to be honest. But every time I guess what I'm getting at is like, I think they're good. But then again, it's like, well, who are you playing against to kind of give you that like insight? And one of our local guys, local-ish, he's like one of the top Black Templars players, and then his buddy was also like one of the top Black Templar guys. So it's like, yeah, you run across those guys at a tournament, you're like, holy shit. But I did run across a newer player running Black Templars at LVO last year, and I think his name was Scott. I'm pretty sure he's a dirtbag. So if you're watching this, Scott, what's up, man? Really, really awesome game. And they just got I think it was like that new detachment where if what's it called? If a Black Templars unit is like within a certain range of enemy units, then like the repulsor executioners get 4 rolls to hit. So like the Overwatch was just like fucking out of control. I think they're cool. I think they have the tools, but it's like it's also just relative to like where are you in the meta, right? So I talk about this a lot, right? Like, so if I'm getting ready for a GT, of course, like the first thing is like I'm looking at the mission pack, right? And then I don't have a ton of armies, so I can either run like pull off my shelf, go to a tournament right now. I could either run Chaos Space Marines, certain Space Marine builds I'm still kind of working on building out the collection, and I can play Shadow Legion. That's about it. So I'm kind of locked into those factions. But so like the first thing is I'm looking at like the missions, and then from the missions, then I'm going to start tailoring my list to that tournament pack, right? Then the second thing I'm going to be cognizant of is like what is the hot thing crushing tournaments right now? But I keep that with like a grain of salt. So it depends on the faction as well. So it's like the way I describe the meta is top tables, mid tables, and the low tables. And like for me, I'm not going to end up in top 16. I'm not going to end up in top 50. I think my best is I haven't even hit top 100 at like a huge, like LVO or something. I'll be top third. But I bring that up because like I don't need to prepare for the top 16, which that in itself, it's not necessarily even the army. Like those guys that are consistently at the top, they are researching what are the top players playing. You know, like they're trying to beat the player, not necessarily like what the army is. Now, if they know what the army is, then yeah, they'll start tailoring like for that. So when Derek was on his Chaos Cult fucking crazy reign, I mean, dudes were straight up watching his stuff, researching like how he played, because they knew they were going to come across him and Chaos Cult at you know these major tournaments, you know, which they did. But like for an average player or at like mid tables, right, like where I'm at, if Chaos Cult's at the top right now because like 3 people are playing them or whatever, like you're not gonna come across like that army. So I wouldn't necessarily need to prepare for Chaos Cult. I would need to have something to deal with hordes, maybe, like in terms of like a generalist like archetype that you might see. But there was a couple interesting things that happened the last year or so in terms of like the meta, right? So when and it was different because you're going to see them at top tables, mid tables, and low tables. So it's like you were definitely going to come across Death Guard. You were definitely going to come across like knights. So you had to prepare for both of those. Like no matter, you know, where you are. But sorry for that long tangent. I mean, I think Black Templars are great, like, but people are gonna, you know, the internet's gonna say one thing, stat check's gonna say another. There's just, my point is there's a ton of caveats. I think at the end of the day, if you love a detachment, you love a faction specialist can make a list and a detachment or faction go like a long way. And that's with all of them. I just play against my brother, a friend of mine. I love the way you guys break down tournament play and strats. Yeah, hell yeah, man. Yeah, it's like current recon guard. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I played Nemo at LVO 2 years ago, and I hadn't even heard of recon guard. And I was running Bile, and I think I was 2-0, and then I come across Nemo, and dude, beat my ass. You know, super nice guy. You know, I wasn't like upset or or anything. But I was just like, dude, how is this even a thing right now? But yeah, like you're not gonna see fucking recon guard all over the place. I don't need to be the best. It doesn't need to be the best. It doesn't need to be the best to be competitive at events. Yeah, for sure. I mean, but that's also, Derek's a fucking freak. But like a lot of those really good players can generally, like, they just understand the game, and they also understand, like, you don't need to get super into nuance of like knowing every detachment and every unit's stat lines or whatever. It's just asking the right questions, and you can like you can start basically pulling together like archetypes, right? So it's like hordes, 6-inch deep strike bullshit, super fast stuff, and then like reactive moves or uppy downy, and then like, you know, if you just know what does what in terms of that, you know, out of phase like sequencing, then now you have like a pretty good understanding of what you're going to deal with. And that, like, so for example, like super fast like melee armies. So I would say orcs are super fast melee horde. World Eater builds can be horde-ish if they're running 60 fucking berserkers in your face. but it also can be like kind of elite as well, like not, not running the 60 berserker builds if they got like some forge fiends in there or the stupid fucking hellbrood. And then you got like blood angels, right? Super fast melee guys. And then of course like Eldar is just like its own thing, in terms of like speed, movement, out of phase stuff. And then, in terms of like the 6-inch deep strike stuff, right? Like that hits demons and uppy downy. So that hits demons, that hits Shadow Legion, that hits Grey Knights. I would say that hits Hammer of Averni to a certain extent. Some of the new cast space, that one new Terminator cast Space Marine detachment Derek played, freaking awesome. But yeah, you can kind of start like grouping together different types of like army capabilities. My local player pool is kind of stacked. We got Folger, Connor, and Bradchester. Yeah, that's rough. Which, dude, that's a great point. I'm glad you bring that up, Iron Father. So like my meta is pretty like our local GTs. You're gonna come across Sasha from Art of War, of course, Derek. Brian Zhu, he's one of the top players, and mainly any detachment he plays. Zach Hiltz, top Blood Angels player. Mike Butler, Art of War guy, really, really good. Eldar Sisters player. And like our RTTs are just fucking hard. So I feel your pain. You go to a small 40 or 50 and you got like 10. Yeah, dude. What was it? I was doing Nova prep and it was an away games GT in somewhere, I think it was Maryland or Virginia, but it's similar, right? Like, dude, total brain fart. He's like the main Death Watch guy right now. Mark Hurdle, he ended up winning it. But like everyone else there were like there were a top 100 or top 50 in their like detachment they play, and that was definitely one of the hardest GTs I ever played. And you have to take that with a grain of salt as well. Like I think I went 2-3, maybe 3-3. I don't remember. But again, like I didn't really view that as a loss. It was preparing me for Nova. I had a positive win rate in Nova, so like that was the goal. And it was quite literally, Nova prep. I live near Joshua Tree, California. There's barely anyone playing 40K out there. I wonder, how far are you from 29 Palms? I wouldn't be surprised if there were a bunch of fucking Marines that also play. Maybe you probably play the Valkyries team at away games if you play teams. No, so we're actually ACO this year. We just put together a 5-man team, so this is our first. Me, Derek, Mike Butler, I think Sasha's on, and Brian Zhu, not ZOO, the Asian Zoo. Yeah, first time ACO, so looking forward to that. But no, again, to add on to your point of like your local meta might be vastly different than when you go to like LVO, right? So not a lot of Space Marine players use infiltrators, they use incursors, right? And same thing with the assassin. But I would say like where I'm at, the infiltrators and the infiltrators and the assassin are just, they cause so much disruption locally that like I'm comfortable taking them. Happy Crumpen, he's in Norway, and he was also like running Hammer of Averni quite a bit, and he was all about the Desolators. And again, like I'll try anything, so I was like, fuck it, like he's really good, super articulate, like I'll run the Desolation Marines. And like locally it was just literally a waste of 200 points. So I'm heading to bed. Want to say absolutely love the podcast you guys are doing. Thanks, man. We appreciate it. That is awesome, dude. Really cool topics perspective. Thanks, Just Celery. Appreciate it. I love the Calidus. Yeah, dude. She is a boss. I will say this. I remind my opponents every time they're in their movement phase, multiple times in their movement phase. I'm like, hey, look, here she is. Like, do you want to be in the aura or out of the aura? And look, a lot of the times they're like, yeah, I saved up the CP. Like, I am spending it here, so I'm willing to take the CP hit. And you're like, dang. But it is a big feels bad when someone's like, oh, I want to do this. And you're like, hey, sorry, dude, Cypher's like behind this wall, or the Calidus is like right over here. We went to a ton of team events, including Challengers Cup in Utah, with some regional teams. We really give people a run for their money. We got like 12th out of 6. Yeah, hell yeah, man. We did a podcast with the Master Crafted guys, and dude, they were saying the same thing as well. I mean, they got Ben Neal, and of course, the Master Crafted guys are good as well. But it's funny, like there's like these small pockets of just like insane local metas. And now also another thing is like it's not distance wise. I wouldn't say it's not my closest store. Like when I got divorced and moved out of my house, I into this apartment now. I moved closer to the closest game store. But like I will travel an hour and a half to play at Alternate Universe in Bluebell, Pennsylvania. Because that's where all those guys play. So it's like if I'm choosing like, hey, like I need to really pressure test this list. Like I need to get punched in the mouth, like Fight Club. I want you to hit me as hard as you can. I'll go play there. If it's just like really quick, like I just need to get models on the table, then I got a guy, he works from home. Like we can play at 9 a.m. like if I'm off during the week. Which is nice, or I can play some other guys that live like right here. But again, like you unfortunately you have to travel, and if it's beyond like an hour and a half, then unfortunately like you're gonna just have to like get it on TTS. I was talking to a guy on Instagram, and he's just like, dude, like no one really plays here. And I was like, dude, join the channel. Like you can play TTS, almost any night, and then just go to the big tournaments. Been loving your hobby shorts. Thanks, man. I'm playing. So I chose Iron Ravens. I was just tired of painting black and gold for 5 years, and I just wanted to do like blues and reds and some lighter colors. But also like I picked them specifically because they can get battle ready really fucking quick. So to be honest, that's why I picked them. We're incredibly spoiled over here. We have 5 game stores in the 45 minutes that all I was hoping. Yeah, hell yeah, man. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, that's definitely a consideration. Like, I'm more than likely, because my kids and everyone's in, the Jersey, Philly area. So I'm definitely staying in this area. But let's just say, hypothetically, I had to move to a different state for work. Like, where is the big 40K scene would definitely be a consideration for where I move to. 100%. Dang, dude. I have like, these are all empty friggin' bottles. You gotta be kidding me, man. I gotta have some Iron Crust here. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I'm up like 3 to 5 game TT. Oh, dang, dude. Good on you, man. Yeah, I try to hit two games a week minimum. And then like TTS if I can't get them in person. I actually need a spoon to get this out. I will be right back. Actually, Ironfather, I have a question for you. So you're getting in 3 to 5 games a week. Like, are you uh like, do you have specific goals? Are you testing different detachments, or do you pick a detachment, play it, I mean, I guess in a month you're hitting 9 to 15 games. So is it like before a GT, or you just love playing that much? Where I live in 40K is huge. Lots of top players. Chat. Oh yeah, yeah, dude. I would like to go to what's your main GT called? No, no, no. That's not in. Is it in Tennessee? There's some Cherokee Open. Where's that at? Because I wanted to go, and then I was just looking up the logistics, and I was like, dang, dude, like, we gotta fly in. It's like a smaller airport, then we gotta drive a little ways to get to the venue. And I was like, maybe I'm not gonna do Cherokee Open. North Carolina. Yeah, that's right. But like, don't you fly into? Where do you fly? Do you fly into Raleigh? I really wish I could play more. I'm only about a game a month. Dang. Yeah, I feel you, man. I play guard for the most part. I played guard for most of 10th on our team slide, or a Space Marine player. They're a lot better Space Marine player, different detachments. So, yeah, dude, I feel you there. What guard detachment were you running? I have about 20 to 25k points of Iron Hands. Dang, dude. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, so again, this is just how I do it. So I get all my medals done, and then I will do the bases. I hate basing, but username checks out. Well, yeah, fair. Dude, I do like the Iron Hands color scheme, but like I said, I was like obsessed with Black Legion. I was just tired of painting black. Dude, I was freaking pissed. So, of course, like I said, I see Hammer of Averni detachment. I'm like, yep, I am playing these dudes. Immediately bought Canik Bar and Ironfather. Dude, I painted Ironfather all night. I probably spent a solid 6 hours of him. Like, as soon as I got back from work, I was so excited to paint him. And I finished him and really proud of myself. I'm like, dude, he looks fucking sick. And I go to varnish him, and this is my mistake. So I grabbed what I thought was the varnish can, and I walked out of my apartment, and I sprayed it, and I just did like a shh, and I was like, yeah, why did he get darker all of a sudden? Like, that looked weird. And then I went back inside into the light, and I was like, fuck, I grabbed freaking lead belcher, dude. And man, it just I was so but it was like right across the face, right across the front. And like, dude, like I said, I put like some time into this, dude. So I had all like the hazard stripes on like the cables, and the white looked really good. I was like really happy with how he came out, and I was like, you know what, dude, I'm just gonna leave you like this for a couple of weeks. I was really sad about that. Combined arms and grizzled. Nice, dude. Man, I was sad when I read Fulgrim where Ferris got killed. Yeah, that was pretty epic. I just not just finished, maybe a couple months ago. I was excited for the Drop Site Massacre book specifically to come out, but I don't know, man. It was kind of underwhelming for me. I think maybe because the way they described the drop site massacre in like the original Horus Heresy books was just a lot more, I don't know, it was like a lot more epic, I guess. I don't know, that was just me. I did think it was interesting in that book when Angron of all people was like, we shouldn't be doing stuff like this, like it's not honorable. Everyone's like, shut up, Angron, like nobody fucking asked for your opinion. He's like getting all fucking mad. Yeah, even with this, I don't need to be super precise either, because so this is the technical paint, which is like has the sand built into it, but then I will dry brush the non technical version on the feet, and then I'll dry brush all the highlights, and so it's fine if it just looks like some mud and shit all over their boots. It grounds the model to the base. Pete, have you played? What do you think of Hammer of Averni? Your Iron Hands, uh, Iron Hands fanatic. Oh, sorry. Back to the guy who asked about the Bastion. One of my practice buddies, Danny, he actually just had a kid. So Danny, what's up, man? Proud of you. Your kid's beautiful. He loves Black Templars, and he was playing Bastion, and it was cool, man. I just think it was a bad matchup for him going into 10 man assault terminators with -1 damage and armor contempt. Like, he oathed that unit and sent in a full sword, like the big sword brethren squad, and they didn't do shit. So that was kind of feels bad, but yeah. Actually saw a dude do really well with Iron Hands playing that Bastion detachment, which I thought was interesting. They had Iron Father with 10 what are they called? Heavy intercessors. That combo is like deceivingly hard to kill because he gives the feel no pain. And I mean they're what, T6, 3 wound guys, 3 up save. And then if it's 1 damage guns, it's essentially +1 to their armor save. Like, they can definitely take a fucking hit. Yeah, in my early Hammer of Averni list, I was running him, but eventually took him out. So what I'm on right now is 20 assault terminators, double ballistas, double redemptor, assassin, infiltrators, scouts, of course combi lieutenant, and I think that is it. It's only 10 units, so it's a little light on dudes, but it's not that bad. I just picked it up close to 10th. I run my list different than yours. I run two lances and two vindies. Then I run the blade guard with a judicar. Dude, you know what, man? I was looking. That was in one of my kind of test list ideas. Because again, man, like on the surface, you think it's. I mean, I guess it can be like a heavy shooting detachment, but it's definitely more melee focused. But yo, so what did you think of the blade guard with the judicar? Because I was thinking the same thing. I recently got into Space Marine, so I heard that the Vindicators are going away, so I just didn't feel like buying them. So that's like the honest reason. If I had them, I would run two Vindicators. But I've been happy with the double ballistus, double Redemptor. I tried triple Redemptor. I was running the Executioner for a little bit. It just got too expensive. But dude, the Lancers, man, I go back and forth on them. But I have two. Yeah, I have two. But yeah, tell me about your experience with the blade guard. Because in my head, like in the beginning, I wasn't really taking advantage of the uppy downy of the 10-man squad. I am now, but when I would use them to bait people to come out to the center, like in my head, I was like, oh, like if the blade guard are there with the judicar, when they send in some chaff or something, then boom, they just heroic in and do the things, and then like basically the 10-man Terminators and the blade guard can kind of like tag team each other, just heroicing in for each other. The Redemptor's overcosted, which make me sad. Needs to be 1-8. Yeah, dude, I agree. So my current basing recipe is so technical Martian, iron, earth, and then wait, I'm sorry. It's the iron crust. So what I'm using right now is the iron crust. You can kind of see that it has like the built-in sand. Then I'll dry brush the iron earth like onto the feet. It gives them like a light kind of like dust effect. And then I will highlight with, where'd it go? Oh yeah, with this, with the Lugganath orange. And dude, it looks awesome and it's fast. I don't know if you can really see that, but yeah, that's just, dude, it's so much faster than my Chaos Space Marine kind of mud look. And then you got to throw Tuft on. People always ask if I, like my non 40k friends, and I'm like showing them my models or whatever, they're like, do you paint the grass? I'm like, no, dude, you buy that shit, just glue it on. 500 on the resin basing before 3D printing of the thing. Dang. Actually, I started seeing this in all the stores now. There's a company, I totally forget what they're called, but they have like sick fucking bases. They're not that expensive, and all sorts of different types. They have this color scheme, which I think subconsciously that's where I got the idea. But I didn't want to. I don't know. I'm a sucker for like the DIY kind of ideology. Secret weapon miniatures. Ah, dude, I don't even know. I'll take a picture of them when I go to the store. I'll probably go there tomorrow because I need more freaking roughing steel. Yeah, so Pete, talk to me about how you're using the blade guard and the judicar. Which, by the way, he's like impossible to find, so I kit bashed him, but my son, my middle son, he plays Death Watch. He's basically playing Mark Hurdle's list. So I ganked his judicar. I got him that box set. I forget when it came out. Was that I don't even remember now. That model's hard to find. I wish I could send you photos on here. Well, you can hit me up on Discord. I use Shardrack Medusan. Yeah, I would need to see pictures for that. But yeah, dude, I want to know what your thoughts are using the blade guard and that guy. How did you use him in the detachment? Their foot slogging. Did you put the scout on them? Like, are they going up? And then fucking hell, it's the second time I did that. Blade guarder for guarding my combi lieutenant on my natural expansion. Okay, they can't really shoot it and they can't really charge it. Yeah, that's good. So your combi lieutenant is the lone op dude, and then those guys are just chilling nearby for heroic intervention range. That's smart. I like that. And then, are you running the 10 Terminators? Sometimes they're actually wave 2 to 3 Terminators give up some depth of engagement. Yeah. That makes sense. I will say this, like, it has been nice running the 20. As soon as someone takes out the first squad, they're like, fuck, there's another 40 wounds coming at me. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know why the Redemptors went up in price. Which interestingly, I was looking at CSM points a couple weeks ago, and the Forge Fiends went down. Dude, those things are fucking insane. Dude, I feel like Lancers are such like a love-hate relationship. I don't know. I feel like here locally, every time they pop out to shoot something, it's like, you know, they just roll it. I guess it was the same issue you would run into sometimes with the repulsor executioner. Like, honestly, I don't like, yes, like on paper it is an anti-tank thing, but really, like, I feel like that's like an anti-chaff freaking unit. Actually, the game I decided to take them out, it was round 3 at a RTT, and I ran into the 60 berserkers, which was fine. Like the Terminators, like honestly, the Terminators and the Redemptors like did most of the work in terms of shooting. My Executioner, I actually just plopped him on a point because he can't kill it. And it's like, yeah, cool. I'll kill 2 berserkers. There are 28 left. Although that 3-inch engagement range is just fucking brutal. I don't know if you guys watched the stream game when Derek and I were just, this was like maybe 2 weeks ago, like all of the 11th edition rules out so far. There's more now. But, dude, the 2-inch engagement range, that was a big change. And then, what's it called? Your squad's got to be within 9 inches, man. Like, that was, you don't think that'd be a big difference, but it was. Rep X dies almost as easily. I only really care about the last cannon shots. Take care. No, 100%. I get it. I was just sad running the Lancers. You know, I was running for a little bit that I liked. I wish I had more guns. I think the previous data sheet edition had more guns, but the regular repulsor with the, first of all, I think he carries what, 12, up to 12 dudes, and that reactive move to get back in. I was running that guy with blade guard for a little bit, which was cute. Kills the slingshot quite a bit. The 9-inch thing. Oh yeah, 100%. I think you can still do it. It's just on a much smaller scale. And you know, the thing Derek and I were talking about, because he was kind of like, man, this kind of like kills like everything I've been doing. I was like, dude, all the rules haven't come out yet. Like, I know you well enough to know. I know you well enough to know. Like, you're gonna figure out some other ways to just break the game, which is, I mean, that's what it's about, right? I think it's 14. Maybe it is 14. Because I'm trying to think. I think you're right. But yeah, that thing wasn't terrible. Still has 3 las cannons, 100 killer missile. I think it has the dev wound Gatling cannon as well. I just joined your Discord. Oh hell yeah, man! I'm Keevil 303. Yeah, hit me up, man. I definitely want to see your kip ash. Dude, I tell you what, kip ashing is one of the coolest things about hobbying and stuff. Guys will be like, hey, I can 3D print you all your shit. And I'm like, nah, man, I kind of really like the build process. I like the build process more than I'm fucking doing right now. Like, I don't mind sanding down mold lines and cutting stuff up and adding shit. I fucking hate doing this right now. It's not even relaxing. I'm heading out for tonight. I'll head to the Patreon. Hell yeah, nice meeting you, Gigawatts. Thanks, dude. Yeah, I don't work tomorrow, so that is the goal for these guys. Because yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get them to how I want them to look, but they'll be tabletop ready by the time the GT rolls around. Pete, I found you. Messaging you right now. Thing. Yes. Way better. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Wow, Pete. Dude. I like the blue, man. Yeah, the blue and the black contrast looks fucking awesome. I liked how you put the X on the skull on the... Oh, you got those Terminators, the Forge World ones. Yes, dude. Damn, these look great, man. Dude, you crushed the electricity coming out. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this? Look at that shit. That is freaking awesome, man. Let's look at your Judicar. That's a Tech Marine, I think. Where's your Judicar? It's not this one. Is this it? Is that your Judicar? Oh, nice, dude. Yeah, your Goleman looks awesome, too. What Terminator head is that from? Is that Forge World or is that 3D print? Yeah, dude. Your guys look awesome. Oops. Organ termes. Yeah, so like I was saying before, I was dude, I think Black Legion is just fucking awesome. I think Abaddon's awesome. I think, yeah, Black Legion's just my favorite. Definitely my favorite. Anyway, I wanted to get the Justarin 30k guys, but like they just don't look nearly as fucking cool as the Iron Hands Terminators, or even the Death Shroud, or even the Iron Warriors Terminators. They look, those Forge World guys look fucking awesome. But yeah, the Justarin kind of, I don't know. I thought they kind of look like shit. Maybe that's me. Pete, are you going to either LVO or LSO? Those are the only two GTs that I'm really heading out. I say west loosely, but I was talking to Phil and from Mastercrafted. I definitely want to get out to like the Utah scene. Probably 70% of my stuff is all converted or custom. Might be going to ATC this year. Nice, dude. Where's ATC? Hmm. Where in North Carolina? Our one buddy, Matt 5G, he's actually opening up a store. I want to say it's in the Charlotte area. I'm supposed to get him on the podcast, but I mean, not him. Everyone's just fucking busy, it feels like right now. I've been trying to get this one guy on for like 2 weeks. Oh, Chattanooga. My best friend, he's my son's godfather. I'm his daughter's godfather. We serve together. He is looking to move to the Chattanooga area. Pretty sure. Been on War Games Live performance show, yeah. Dude, in Discord, send me a link. I would definitely watch one of your games. Were you running Iron Hands, or was it when you were playing Guard or something else? I tell you what, speaking of Joe, man, he has done incredible things for the competitive community. Dude, it was funny at LVO, like there were so many times where he had to like tell people like, well, I mean, I feel like he's always telling people like, dude, watch your mouth, but like his quality just puts the GW streams to shame, which is kind of cool. That's like another interesting thing that I just like about the tournament scene. It's like the it's so player supported. It's just cool. I also think it's cool that it's forced GW to like step up like how they do stuff for competitive play. Like I understand most people play casually, but dude, I just think the tournament scenes are cleaner for the most part, cleaner games. Everyone's there with like clear expectations of like, hey, we are here to play some like hardcore 40k. My event was one of the first ones when he came in 2021. He had an old red truck, one of those bed campers with all his streaming gear. Oh, dude, yeah, man. I mean, he's his stuff now. Like I was watching Derek play. What was it? I forget the last GT he went to, but yeah, he just does such a good job. It was a battle for Alzheimer's. I mean, he essentially became like the gold standard for streaming. I think Trevi does a good job as well, but Joe definitely is the gold standard for 40k streaming. Trevi is commentator. Yeah, Trevi is a good dude. He just knows like, I mean, it's his full-time job. He just knows so much about everything competitive 40k. I also think I had Scary. That's it, dude. Scary is such a good player. And I love that, like, he just sticks with Drakari, man. I think that's awesome. Oh shit. Say coming from playing Ultramarines blade detachment and being able to advance and charge. Yes. Yeah, I dabbled in that one as well. But dude, it's just like, I don't know, man. Like having super oath and the reroll ones to wound, like pushing through wounds is just, I don't know, man. It's just fucking, I mean, Hammer of Verney definitely hits hard. But, you know, similarly to like how what you were doing with your with that Blade Guard Judicar protecting your natural with the I'm assuming your Terminators are, they're in Deep Strike going to do the things. I don't know. That's a cool combo to like make up for the lack of flexibility. When I first got into Space Marines, dude, I'll be honest, I felt like, you know, like Gladius, it was like, dude, it's like I can almost do like too much. And then you got to really like, you know, at least for me, I had to figure out like, okay, like I think it was maybe a little bit less of how I understand the detachment and more in like what in the detachment like plays the way that I understand and like to play 40k. But it is, yeah. Every time someone asks, "Can you advance and charge?" I'm like, "Nope." Can you fall back? And I'm like, I cannot fall back and do anything other than just stand there. Right. They are based. All right. I'm going to wash my water. I will be right back. All right. So we're good with that. Let's do the blues. Need to do an adult beverage run. I feel you, man. I'm just sipping on some Woodford. than I do with the detachment. Do you think the redemptors are needed? I found they die super easily to anti-tank. How do I explain it? So I like them because you can get because they get strat support mainly. And I will use the redemptors and the ballistas kind of they like tag team each other. So the ballistas will kind of go out first, and then the redemptor will be the counter shooting. But I mean, you are right. Like, I mean, it gets really against any like really dedicated anti-tank. Like, I mean, they're gonna kill fucking anything. But I think if you can avoid, you know, committing them to anti-tank, I think they're really good for, like, I mean, the built-in -1 damage is great. Other than when you roll a 1 multiple times for the overcharge gun. I mean, the AP, I like the AP4. And then, like I said, like I can sticky something with them. I feel like sometimes if you're putting like all, which I understand you running the blade guard because they also get strat support, so like that all totally makes sense to me. And but that's the kind of the thing that the detachment struggles a little bit with, where it's like if you're not running any blade guard and you're not running any what's it called, van vets or the, you know, redemptors, then I mean you're really only stacking the strats on the terminators, which of course, right, like you're saving optimally, you're saving 4 CP for when they go in, or when you bait, right? So you do the -1 damage and then armor contempt, and then also heroic, not heroic, counteroffensive. That came in handy a lot against the knight player that was playing the other night. Which again, like the -1 damage really didn't matter. I used it. I think I used it twice, but armor contempt didn't matter. But he had to commit minimum 2 carnivores to go into them because he gets the crit 5 strat and reroll 1s to wound enhancement on the 1 stalker. So I mean, I was actually really surprised how fast they died to carnivores, again with the crit 5s and the reroll 1s to wound. But I had to save the CP for the counteroffensive strat. I actually run you know, like I said earlier in the stream, I built 2 of them. You know, Primaris, all completely custom kit bashed van vets, and man, I just went back and forth on them. And then ultimately, the previous list I was running right before the one I have now, I just ended up using JPIs just because van vets freaking went up in points. And I really didn't think they need to go up in points to. I think what they did with what was it, that Raven Guard, the Shadow Mark Talon, like between changing the wording on the turn 1 rapid, I think that was enough. I didn't think van vets needed to go up in cost. I was actually running ATV for a while. But like to run the 20 Terminators, you're definitely making some hard decisions on what units you're dropping. Like I just know for a fact, like where I'm at in the game, I'm not good enough to play only 9 units like that Ben Neal list with the double ballistas, double vindicator, JPI incursors, infiltrators. Just sent you my list. Hell yeah, man. Let's check this out. Dude, I love the ancient. I actually dropped the ancient in my current list. I'm kind of going back and forth on it. Like, giving the +1 OC is just really good. And, like, totally cool with losing a Terminator. I'm actually cool with losing 2 Terminators because then you still get to bring the one guy back and you're getting the +1 to hit fucking built in. Yeah, I forgot about the Spiritus form. Yeah, that makes sense. Common Lieutenant, yep. Sensors, JPI, Blade Guard, Double Lancer, Scout. That double Vindicate. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I mean, I like it, dude. But see, the interesting thing always, like with lists, and this is why I always have a caveat with guys when I'm just like, oh, like just check out this list. It'll be like, hey, check out this list, and then like let's talk about it, because like you were saying, the strategy and how you employed and comboed the combi lieutenant with the blade guard totally makes sense. Yeah, so what I realized after turn 1, I think next practice game we're gonna go the Terminators with the 10-man squad with the captain. They're gonna get scout. They are gonna go to the natural. They'll sticky it with the strat. Of course, you have to have someone on there beforehand, so assassin can take care of that job for most of the time, and then pull them off. I think Canic Bar will be my essentially second/third wave. I also in that game redeployed the infiltrators to my back line, but I really needed them up front. So I think I would keep Canic Bar's unit there for a little bit and then sticky my home and then pull them off, because I'm not running intercessors right now to get the 20 man in. You not having Vindies is huge. I know, Pete. I know. You are not wrong. And I mean, what are they still? Are they less than 185? Yeah, man, they're still at 185. I tell you what, I was running 2 in my Packbound Zealots list with Abaddon and the Hellbrute. Dude, when the night meta was like out of control, that's when I brought the Hellbrute back. And I actually brought Abaddon back for that. And went to Nova, and I was like, I fucking hope I get a night player. And I got a night player, Imperial Knight player round 1. I was like, fuck yes, dude. And it actually worked out in my favor. So I explained all the things, and then I actually totally whiffed. My Vindicators completely whiffed turn 1. Like, didn't do shit. And I'm fairly certain in his head, he was like, oh, dude, these Vindicators can't do anything against me. And then he committed 2 big knights the next turn. Dude, fucking one-shot at both of them. And he was like, oh, fuck. I was like, I told you they pop off. I just didn't roll well on the first one. The first shooting attack, but game was essentially over after that. Let me ask you this, Pete. What how are you using the redeploy? Do you if you win the roll off, are you deploying the scouts and then just to block out other people's infiltrate units and then redeploying them back, or are you yeah, Pete, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But to be honest, man, that's like the other reason why I don't want to go to the other detachments. Like literally because of that. 2s roll 1s for most targets. Even with the strength 8 and 9 stuff. Nice Terminators, had a lot of fun with them. Reclamation Force and Hammer. Yeah, dude. Yeah, they are super fun. The 4 wounds is just... It's just fucking great. 4 wounds, -1 damage. If they have infil or scout themselves, I use my scouts to block them out. They redeploy. Yeah, fair. Yep, fair. I run and block, still take the point. Yeah. I actually got another scout squad sitting over there. I gotta paint them up. Yeah, that redeploy is so fun. When Canic first came out, I was like, gross. And I heard him out like a scout. Give me my vehicle boss. Well, that makes sense. Being a long-term Iron Hands player. But dude, he just, man, he's such an awesome freaking character. It's insane when he gives that. When I'm sure it's the same for you. When I'm explaining like the things, they're like, so what else does he do? I'm like, dude, and I was on Veterans of the Long War for a while, and so they have it's a 2 CP strat for a character that is visible and within 12 to get the second oath. And I was just like, dude, it's like so much sequencing. And then I read the Hammer of Averni detachment. I'm like, what the hell, man? He just fucking as long as you can see it. Yeah. Have you guys, any of y'all seen Nuremberg? I was watching that the other day. I wasn't able to finish it, but that Remick dude, man, he's such a good actor. Of course, Russell Crowe is awesome, but I enjoyed it so far. I think I only got about halfway in. Well, what else do you guys want to talk about? Because you guys bringing stuff up is my entertainment right now. Like I said, I freaking hate base coating. It's my least favorite part of painting. I made the correct decision and DoorDash booze. Gin and tonic. I call it Christmas water. Oh man, funny story. My last deployment in the Marine Corps, I went to Southeast Asia, and it was someone's bright idea to deploy us to basically get to Okinawa, Japan. I was in the Marine Corps. Get to Okinawa, Japan, December 20th, dude. And we're just like, who the fuck made the decision to get us over there? December 20th, man. So miss Christmas with the family, and on top of that, like, we call it Marine Corps Ramadan. Like, basically nobody in the Marine Corps, or really the federal government for that matter, is doing shit. End of December, and then like certainly in the military the first 2 weeks in January. Anyway, so this was 2017. Yeah, 2017. And so my platoon was a little bit older. in general. So we did Festivus, right, from Seinfeld. Dude, we found a metal pole. We did the air grievances. We did feats of strength. We were playing. What do we do? We just played a bunch of like games. But dude, I drank an entire bottle of gin, and man, it was that was a crazy night. It was definitely one of those nights where the next day at I went to the PX, which is the post exchange. It's like a military grocery store. And I'm standing there in line. I'm super fucking hungover. And this kid comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, what's up, Staff Sergeant?" And I just look at him and I'm just like, "Hey, good morning." And he's like, "You don't remember me from last night?" I was like, "Ah, shit." I was like, no. I was pretty fucking hammered. I drank a whole bottle of gin. And he laughed. He was like, "No, I helped you to your room." And I was like, "Oh, man." But yeah, Christmas water. My wife says it's my Christmas tree. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Got any tips for new Chaos player? I played Space Marine since October, but switched to the dark side since I think the Black Legion World Leaders are so cool. Dude. So the new shit is fucking awesome. Obviously, get the Defilers. Just get them. Huron is freaking good. But the thing about Chaos Space Marines is, I mean, they hit super hard in melee. Well, at least, yeah, I'd say they hit super hard in melee. But I mean, bikes are a freaking staple. In most lists, they're like your early action monkey kind of like utility units. I mean, they get +1 to hit on the charge, or sorry, +1 strength on the charge. So the power fist and the chainsaw swords are good. They're OC2, so 3 units or 6 OC. I mainly played pack-bound zealots and veterans of the Long War. So in vets, the bikes have a reactive move, which was nice, mounted and infantry. And then in pack-bound zealots, I tried them all, but in terms of the different marks, because the different marks will give your guys different abilities. So like if you're Nurgle, Mark and Nurgle, you get sustain hit 5s on in shooting. If you are Slanesh, you get sustain hit 5s on in melee. But Nurgle bikes with the plasma gun, I mean, they can surprisingly pop off. Also, they have a 18-inch loan up strat. So earlier I was talking about like getting ready for a GT. I'm going to look at the mission pack, see what the terrain layouts are, and then start building my list. And then I'll start looking at like what is the scary, shit in the meta right now that I need to be aware of. But for Nova, for an example, it was layout 2 and layout 6. So like shit's in the open. And I was like, yep, I'm definitely going pack-bound zealots to basically mainly for the bikes that can get 18-inch loan op. So I was almost guaranteed my natural expansion at least turn 2 just about every game. I mean, Huron just does like a ton of work. If you watch our stream game from, I think it was last Monday, but we were playing 11th edition rules, but Derek was trying out that new Terminator detachment, dude, where 2 of them can come off the board. It was really cool. I was thinking what branch you were in. I literally said he looks like a Marine. Fair. Work with enough that you can spot him. Got a few of them from 04 to 08. Hell yeah, dude. Get 2 Defilers and some Demon Princes. Yeah. At minimum 1 AC/DC brick. You're gonna want Chosen. I'd say at least minimum 15 Chosen. you can get away with 20, you can get away with 10 legionnaires. I always liked having at least, oh, and definitely the rhinos. So yeah, like a main thing about Chaos Space Marines is infantry coming out of rhinos. Just, I mean, they just do a lot of work, right? So you're legionnaires get 4 rules to wound on objectives, so they're mainly your go take a point. They're also OC2, which was nice. If they're Slaanesh and Packbound Zealots, they can advance and charge coming out of the Rhino. Chosen and Bile is a good kind of staple. Bile giving +1 toughness and +1 strength is nice. Plus, I mean, Bile is just such a boss. Yeah, Bile and 10 Chosen is a good combo to have. A Cypher, gotta have a fucking Cypher. If you can't find them, kit bash them. I kit bash mine from Dark Angels. Not to try and show my wares, but I gotta see some combat patrol precision. Hell yeah, man. Vashtor is good. Vashtor is good in almost any detachment. He gets loan up within 3 of a demon vehicle. So Forge Fiends. I actually ran 2 Venom Crawlers at LVO last year. I really liked them. But like I said, I was running Packbound Zealots. I had Abaddon and the Hellbrute, so I'm getting crit 5s, lethal and sustained in shooting. So they were like my chaff killers. Then I had 1 Forge Fiend, and then 2 Vindicators. That was my shooting package. And at the time, this was also around the Night Menace, so I was running 2x5 possessed, because the thing is, like, I needed something to guarantee the night kill, and Chosen are just not good at doing that. But with the possessed, they have the once per game dev wounds, and so, you know, I would typically nuke 1 night in shooting, and then the remaining shooting would go into the other night, and then the possessed would typically finish it off, because you're going to get hitting on 3s if they're undivided, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, and then full rerolls to wound, and you're looking to spike the 6s. How many attacks do they even have? Dude, I ran them forever. I should know this. But dude, I loved that list I had. And then I think at that time I was running 3x3 bikes, 2 of them Nurgle, 1 of them Slaanesh. The Slaanesh one gets advanced shoot and charge. So a funny moment was it was actually the Black Templars guy. He had the Emperor's Champion, and I had Assassinate. So I advanced shoot and charged my Slaanesh bikes up, and they had Melta-Guns. And between the Melta-Guns and the bolters, the combi, not combi bolters, but yeah, combi bolters, not combi weapons, fucking nuke that dude off the board. Chaos Space Marines, data sheets. Oh, that new Kravik Morn, the Iron Warriors guy, he's cool. You're definitely going to want Chaos Lords with Thunderhammers. They're kind of like a staple. Yeah, it was 4 attacks each. So even the 5-man, it's 20 attacks, 3s, rerolling 1s. Even in the Knights, right, looking for 6s, it's still 2 damage. So they were just really good at just finishing off fucking Knight. Disco Lord is cool. He's really good in raiders. Noise marines are good to have. I'd say have at least 10 of them. And they're sick models. They were fun to build, fun to paint, great to play with. In the Renegade Raiders detachment, they're awesome because if they're coming out of a Rhino, 4 rolls a hit and wound against units on objectives. So you're like basically, I mean, the game plan is pretty straightforward. Like your bikes go out, they're your early skirmishers, they're hitting, you know, your natural move blocking, doing stuff like that, and then your Rhinos just stage with your either, you know, combinations of Legionnaires or Chosen. Or actually, there was a time when I was running, oh goodness, rubrics. Yeah, rubrics are good. I'd say have a couple squads of them, and then yeah, some noise marines. Word thanks. I've been building 2 defilers tonight. Yeah, there you go. Going to be running warp strike. Yup. Yeah, dude. It's good. Terminators, mutilators, rhino, cultists, legionnaires running. Yeah, dude. Let us know how it goes. You think CSM is keeping Pred and Vinny's? Ah, man. I think so. I mean, I think they are, but I mean, who knows? I mean, because I was surprised that Leviathan Dreadnoughts and Contemptors went away, even though they made new plastic kits for 30K. You know? Can Black Legion take Noise Marines? Yeah, dude. Yeah, I ran them in vets. They were good. Yeah, I painted them all in Black Legion colors, and then I would keep the shoulder pad like Slaneshi. Dude, just after I talked about this in the last hobby stream, like, dude, the Black Legion books are just so fucking awesome. It was definitely needed for like Abaddon's character development and just like Black Legion in general. Because I wasn't initially, I initially didn't think Black Legion was that cool until those books came out, and then as soon as I read them, I was like, "Yep, buy an Abaddon, and everyone will now be Black Legion." Yeah, dude. And dude, and decimators, man, I couldn't sell them. I still have both of my decimators. I still have all my contemptors. I kept all the guns. Do you remember when the double Volkite was like the fucking hotness in ninth edition? And then, dude, yeah, the Leviathan Dreadnought's just so fucking awesome. They're on my bookshelf right now. I couldn't sell them. But it'd be cool if they got unlegend. And that's why, like, you know, again, I think the internet's super dramatic about everything, but like when everyone's like, oh, GW only gives a shit about making money and that's how they drive the game, blah 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 blah. Okay, well, I mean, I'd say Contemptors and Leviathans are a perfect example. Like, they made the plastic kits for 30K. Why wouldn't they keep them in 10th edition? Oh gosh. Yeah, dude. Dude, that was so fun. The double Volkites. And like the Contemptors just look fucking sick. I actually converted a Sons of Horus Contemptor to be my Hellbrute. Man, I love that guy. I did bring an extra Hellbrute with me just in case someone like fucking complained or whatever. My list at LVO was I have a Hellbrute, I swear. After that guy won that one GT, and then his opponent driving home was like, man, that list was really sick. And then puts it in his phone and realizes that he ran a fucking had a Hellbrute, but was over points. Like, you know, and then people are like, oh, you know, like that happens. And I was like, no, fuck no. Like, that guy in that detachment, critting on fives, lethal sustained, that's not a fucking oopsie. I read Achilles Land Raider too. Of course he did. I actually need to get a Space Marine Land Raider. Not purchased that yet. I have a Chaos one though. Yeah, I think for this battle ready, I'm just doing the blues. I'm not even going to dry brush it. And then I'm just going to do the faces, and those are my three colors. Three colors based. That's good enough just to get them on the table. I mean, it was T12, 2 plus 4, 16 wounds, Thunderfire started from the 8 melted shots. I will say, I think it was healthier for just everything that Forge World got absorbed. Especially 9th edition when the Volkite Contemptors were just fucking the bee's knees. All that Forge World shit was so fucking expensive. I need to thin my paints a little bit. Only at 6 transport capacity though. Well, I mean, for all that other shit you were saying, I would say it probably should have that. I mean, because you look at like the regular repulsor for an example, right? Like the trade-off is its guns are meh in comparison to executioner. This might be too thinned. What kind of gin did you get? Did you get Bombay or did you get Hendrix? Nice, yeah. Oh, dude, fucking back is killing me. Favorite is Monkey 47, a sassy from Germany. It's called a type of gin called Schwarzwald with berries from the Black Forest. I'll have to check that out. I fucking love gin, dude. In the summer times, I would get like the like blueberries and raspberries like frozen, and then instead of ice for my gin tonics, I just use the frozen fruit. What other mixed drinks do you like, Pete? vodka only, really, dude. I was on a vodka soda kick for a while. I don't do beer and I don't do whiskey bourbon. That's fair. When I was married, like when you're in your late 20s, early 30s, right? Like everyone's getting married, and I feel like you're just going to a wedding like fucking every couple months. But at the time, my wife, we were going to this one wedding, and she's like, "Hey, can you only have like one drink?" I was like, yeah, sure." And I had an entire pint of Maker's Mart. I don't think that's what she meant, but I had to switch to diet mixers. I'm 40 in calories. Ain't kind of me. Dude, I'm fucking 41, man, and I feel you, dude. Yeah, it sucks. Your metabolism's like fucking dog shit. All right, I think that is good enough on the blues. Now we're just going to do the faces. Actually, you know what? I think, man, I actually have some more blue to do. Well, I'll finish up that blue when I knock out these faces, and then we're fucking done. Yeah, I got enough room. Yeah, I feel like if you're like a mixed drink guy and you're drinking like full fucking sugar, like dude, that shit throws on love handles like nothing else. I'm a skinny lad, 5'10", 155. Damn, dude. I'm well, I went into the Marine Corps 5'11", and they're super strict about height and weight. Dude, I was like 5'10". I was like, how the fuck did I lose an inch? And you can only be, your maximum weight is 196 pounds before you have to get taped for your body fat percentage. And dude, the way they do it's so dumb. It's like they measure your neck and then measure your waist and do some dumb calculation. Then they're like, you're fucking fat. And so I'm weighing in, I think it was like 205. I was heavier, and I do my height, and they're like, yeah, you're 5'10". I was like, what the fuck? And I think 5'10", you can be, I want to say it's like 189, maybe 190. And I was like, all right, well, I can't lose weight right now. And then I remembered our armorer, the guy who's in charge of all the guns and shit, he had one of those spinal board, like you lock your feet in them and then you like go upside down. It's supposed to like, stretch out your spine and shit. So I run down there. I was like, Josh, I need to get in your machine thing. And he explains it to me. So I lock in, and I was in there for like 30 minutes, ran back upstairs. I was 5'11" again. So that was good. But yeah, dude, I was getting up to like 217 about 6 months ago. And I was like, fuck, dude, I'm like way too fucking heavy for where I should be, and I like really cut back the drinking. So that was really good. And then I also started fasting. So I typically only eat between noon and 8 p.m. And then down to 193. But dude, I tell you what, getting below 195 for me was like a struggle, man. And I'm doing the jujitsu thing. Like and honestly, nowadays my workouts, I really just focus on cardio, core, and arms, because it definitely helps having stronger arms in that sport. But yeah, breaking 195 was difficult. Hmm. I'm actually glad I went all faces on the squad. I think the contrast looks pretty cool. You know, I just realized when I lean too forward, my hat comes into frame. It messes up the focus on the camera. Hmm. Just got back. Gin acquired. I got medically declined in '05 due to autoimmune stuff. When I went into the academy, I weighed 132. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, I believe it, man. I actually posted a picture of it. It's gonna go in the book. But I posted it in the Patreon chat. So the first time I went to Okinawa was before Afghanistan, and I knew the location we were going to. So I knew it was going to be pretty austere. So I purposely put on like 10 pounds. So I went into country like 212, and then there's a picture of me. I have like my shirt off. I'm like dirty as fuck. Smoking a cigarette hanging out of my mouth, and I was 170 something. You know, I lost like 40 some pounds. I have a funny story. Work in Metro Detroit suburb with a huge Middle Eastern population. Oh wait, I work in Metro, huge Middle Eastern population. Okay. One of the Marines on my team went through one of the Middle Eastern teammates' hometowns of Riyadh while he was still there. Now they work together. That is awesome. I tell you what, I travel a lot for work. I spent quite a bit of time in Riyadh, and dude, sometimes I feel like the world can get real small real fast. Speaking of Detroit, one of these Terminators, this guy, his face, you can see that. Does that zoom in? He looks like RoboCop, and dude, I was fucking obsessed with those movies as a kid, and when I took the kids to Comic-Con a couple years ago, dude, Peter Weller was there, and I was like, oh, dude, I'm definitely getting a fucking autograph. So I went and bought a RoboCop action figure, and then so I'm standing in line, and then the dude in front of me was like, hey sir, I loved the movies, watched them as a kid, ended up joining the Marine Corps, and then became a cop, and you know, you were definitely like an inspiration for me, you know, and whatever. And then I go up right afterwards. I was like, hey, sir, also Marine, also watched all your movies, also got into law enforcement. But dude, he was super cool, man. I was the last guy. And dude, he shot the shit with me for like 30 minutes. I think he was like 70 at the time. He had a 14-year-old. And I also had a 14-year-old at the time. And, you know, we're just talking about life and kids and stuff. But yeah, I have actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll show you right now. Yeah, so cool. I'll be right back. Yeah, RoboCop, dude, check this out. How cool is that, man? Nice. Hell yeah, Pete. Dude, I hope we meet up at a tournament, dude. Think we'd have a good time. We have like 6 drones that respond to runs on top of our government. Dude. The fucking drones, man. I'll send you some. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. You know, it's funny. Just thinking about the different group chats people are in, you know, and then like if you're in our profession, like our group chats are pretty interesting. I kind of wish I picked different heads. I'm gonna have to do hair and beards, and that's for another time. They've all been publicly released. I've been looking at those a few times. Yeah, I believe it, dude. That dude I was talking about earlier, the guy, my kid's godfather, he worked so he was a Pittsburgh cop, and he was I forget what the team was, but basically plain clothes. Anyway, he's on the news responding to something. He's wearing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt, like from the 80s, like 80s themed, and like cry precision urban pants. He looked ridiculous, but it was hilarious. I showed my kids. I'm like, look, it's Mr. Kris. Like, is he wearing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shirt? I was like, yes. I tell you what I'm not going to do on these 10 guys. Fucking eyeballs. We are not going to do that. I only do eyes on characters, not the Gen Pop regular dudes. Right, let's check everybody. Dude, I think we're almost done. 2 o'clock in the morning. That's not too bad. This is my Saturday night, and I have Tuesday, Wednesdays off, so I figure, Pete, you also have weekdays off? Or do you work, or what shift are you on right now? Cool. Sweet. Well, we got our 10. 3 colors based, and we're good to go. Yeah, so from here, they look good enough just to fit in the army, and that's fine. Good for tournament play, and I will work on the details later. I have a 24-hour work week and a 60-hour work week. Oh, got it. Yeah, all the so most of my jiu-jitsu school, it's incredible. Dude, they have class all the time. There's 6 a.m.s Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturdays at 10, Sundays at 9, and then 5 days a week, Monday through Friday noons, and then also they have like 6 to 7 beginner, and then 7 to 8 advanced classes. Anyway, all the LE guys are there at noon. It's always fun. But anyway, guys, yeah, Pete, I will hit you up on Discord. Thanks for hanging around, dude. I appreciate it. And everyone else, appreciate you guys. This has been fun. Let me know. Hit me up on Discord or comment later. Like, I need critiques on things like audio, the camera setup, lighting, all that stuff. Because like I said, I'm in this like command center type of thing right now. So I got my laptop right over here. Then I got the other camera or the other monitor up here. And it's like a lot painting on stream, because I'm like constantly looking at like 2 different screens, plus I'm trying to paint, plus I'm reading comments, responding, which, I mean, it's all good. Like, that's fun. But yeah, let me know what I can do better at. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.